Spencer against Letson. So, yo, I think you were saying Spencer had to win this fight because she'd lost the last few.
Yeah, she lost the last two fights. Yeah.
She was fighting for her job. Now,
yes.
let me be honest here, okay? Man, from jump, she was on her, okay?
Yeah.
What I mean from jump, she came on striking, put her against the cage, dirty boxing. She applied pressure, okay?
Yes.
And said it's either going to make a diamond or it's going to bust pipes.
Yes.
And for 3 rounds, she put pressure on her. Now, the third round, Letson did come out and try to assert aggression. By then, it was too late. She got her to the ground. They were tussling around. Spencer did get the best of her by getting back on top. And then once she got into the full mount position, the ref had to call it because she started throwing some elbows and some strikes where it was like, the thing I don't understand. So Letson, because I've never watched these two women fight. So Letson been active, but it seemed like in that fight, she didn't want to be active. Like after the first minute, I'm like, this girl don't want to fight.
Yo, like what you just said, is there the pressure and everything? That's what we did on the preview when we were talking about this fight. And as soon as she came out, just like we said, she was gonna apply the pressure. That's her style. Right? So for me, Spencer did everything I said and we said she was gonna do.
No, what you said, because remember, I've never watched it before.
Okay,
I agreed with you and said, okay, but she applied massive pressure.
Yes, massive pressure. And then, but Letson now, Letson she needs to be a distance to be working. She needs that distance to be fighting. And Spencer saw that, and Spencer the level of it was a different level of competition for Letson. Right. And it clearly showed it was different level of striking, a different level of pressure. The grappling, I should say, more like in Spencer.
I think the whole all-around fight, Spencer had that can't go back vibe, okay? She said, I'm fighting for my career. Yeah. It may not be nothing special to all of us, but it's special to her. And she came out from the ring, from the time the bell rang, she said, I'm taking it to her. If she can back me up, I'll give it to her, but I'm going to apply pressure in any way I feel. And she did. She had complete and utter control of the fight. Letson did have good takedown defense for the first 2 rounds, per se. You know what I mean? Like, she did get up very quickly or stopped her from getting most of the takedowns. But while she was doing that, she was taking a licking.
Yeah, up against the cage. She was taking a beating of the cage control,
foot
elbows,
stomps,
foot stomps, rib body shots. I mean, she was working. I mean, Spencer was working in all aspect of the fight.
Yeah.
So, I just think that the pressure kind of break her in the third there, as we say.
Oh, for sure. But like I said, right in the third, she came out, but it was like you should have done that from the very jump. You should have met Spencer in the middle of the ring and tried to push her back, not allow her to push you back, grab you, put you against the cage, and beat on you like a drum at one of these varsity games. You know what I mean? Because
well, let me ask you something. From we're watching the fight, though, did it seem like she was too comfortable with she was too comfortable fighting Spencer in her domain?
I don't think she was too comfortable. I think she wasn't expecting it.
Oh no, I mean, she had to be expecting it because she knows that's what Spencer does. That's how she fight.
Hold on, though. Let's be real here, right? You've watched tons and tons of UFC. I mean, even when we used to live together, we were watching Strike Force, everything, okay? Pride.
Yeah.
When you know what a fighter likes to do and you can't counter it from the jump, I think sometimes for some fighters, they become overwhelmed. So, like you said, she needs to fight from a distance, right? She wasn't able to get off first. Spencer from the ring of the bell was in her face. So she couldn't exact the game plan that they possibly drew up, right? Yeah. It was the third where she said, okay, I have to just go right at her. The minute the bell rang, boom, she came out firing on her. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, because you're down 2 rounds to nothing. You need to finish to win. You had
but she should have done that from the very first round. But I think she didn't get a chance to because she thought that Spencer might have tested the waters before applying pressure, not realizing that Spencer did her homework and said, this girl likes to strike from range. She doesn't like to get close. She doesn't like her opponents to get close. You know what? I'm gonna lay on her. I'm gonna sit on her. I'm gonna beat on her, and I'm gonna take her pride away or take away her fight, and then do as I want. And yet again, nothing but love for Letson and nothing but love for Spencer. But Spencer knew that this was a can't go back moment, and she was a stay ready all-star.
Yeah, true. And also, when I mean she was too comfortable, when I meant she was too comfortable is like I saw a position where she could go for the underhook and she could switch position and put Spencer up against the cage, or she can use those underhook to get in position to push off. Right? To push off. But no, she didn't take any of those opportunities. She just stuck in that position and Spencer was just working. And Spencer was like, okay, cool. Like she wasn't worried of her making any reverse transitions. Right?
Yeah. But also, like I said, not to fully disagree with you, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. I think she tried to, but Spencer seems like a very strong woman. I'm not saying Letson is soft, but it was like the way she had her against the cage and the foot stomps and the body shots. I think she was afraid that if she made the transition, she would have been opened up to more punishment. Do you see what I'm saying? That's just my thought. Yet again, I'm a novice, right?
I get the point of view you're trying to make. But
because she did make one or two transitions in the second, but it didn't go anywhere because the minute she got her against the cage, she found a way to reverse it, and put her back against the cage or take her to the ground. Well, I mean, she had her back twice in that fight.
Listen, it was just the level of competition clearly showed it. There's levels to it.
Yeah.
And it clearly showed it there. It was just, it was just one of those things, man. That was their first actual fight in the UFC for Letson. I mean, she's coming from Invicta and then on Dana White's Ultimate Tough Fighter.
Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, Ultimate Fighter. And then,
So it was her first taste of real competition.
Yeah, real test of real competition. And she's fighting somebody that's fought the likes of Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson and all these people. So
so she was lunch.
Exactly,
she brought a pail and
she
said, let's get to work.
yeah. So I mean, it is when we got to give credit to Spencer for doing what she needs to do.
Yeah.
And then hopefully Letson can get it next time.